Genesis chapter 11. When they first began to repopulate the earth in the aftermath of the flood, all the descendants of Noah spoke one language. When the people moved eastward, they found a plain in Babylonia, also called Shinar, and settled there. Not trusting God's plan, they refused to spread out and populate the earth. Instead, they said to each other, "Let's come together and make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used the bricks for stone and tar for mortar. And not trusting God to keep his pledge to never again destroy the world by flood, they said, "Come, let us build a city to make ourselves secure, and an escape tower that reaches into heaven. Let's make ourselves famous and not spread out across the earth." But the Lord came down and assessed the city and the escape tower that those humans who refused to trust God were building. The Lord said, "Look how these people, all speaking the same language, have united in selfishness, distrust of us, and in opposition to our methods of love. Since they have begun to do this, there is no evil that they won't do. Come, let us slow the spread of evil, and thus prevent the entire human race from again hardening their hearts in selfishness. And let us keep open the avenue for the Messiah. Let us confuse their language so they will not understand each other." And so, in love, the Lord confused their languages, and they could no longer understand each other. As a result, they stopped building the city, and they spread out all over the earth. That is why it was called Babel, because the Lord confused the languages of the people of the world, and in this way the Lord scattered them over the entire earth. These are the descendants of Shem. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he had a son named Arphaxad. After he fathered Arphaxad, he lived another 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad was 35 years old, he had a son named Shelah. After he fathered Shelah, Arphaxad lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah was 30 years old, he had a son named Eber. After he fathered Eber, Shelah lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber was 34 years old, he had a son named Peleg. After he fathered Peleg, Eber lived another 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg was 30 years old, he had a son named Reu. After he fathered Reu, Peleg lived another 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Reu was 32 years old, he had a son named Serug. After he fathered Serug, Reu lived another 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Serug was 30 years old, he had a son named Nahor. After he fathered Nahor, Serug lived another 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor was 29 years old, he had a son named Terah. After he fathered Terah, Nahor lived another 119 years and had other sons and daughters. After Terah was 70 years old, he had 3 sons named Abram, Nahor, and Haran. These are the descendants of Terah, who was the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran was the father of Lot, but Haran died before his father Terah, in Ur of the Chaldees. The land of the Chaldeans is also known as Babylonia, the land of his birth. Abram married Sarai, and Nahor married Milcah, the daughter of his brother Haran. Haran was the father of both Milcah and Iscar. Sarai was unable to become pregnant, and had no children. After Abram told his father Terah of God's call for him to go to Canaan, Terah agreed and took Abram's wife Sarai, and his grandson Lot, the son of Haran, and together they travelled from Ur of the Chaldeans, heading to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years and died in Haran.